Things you didn't know about deer before, lifestyle to interesting facts. Hey, welcome to our channel. Do you love to know about the interesting facts that you never heard before? Then watch this video till end and don't skip any of the part. Deer are large and tall, small and short. Deer are considered as proud creatures. Graceful and beautiful, deer are often mentioned in folk legends and fairy tales of various northern peoples, including those living in forests. This creation is extremely smart and sharp. Let's get to know about the amazing and interesting facts about deer. Horns. The distinctive feature of the representatives of this family is the presence of horns, which are characteristic of male deer. Only female reindeer can boast of such decoration. Animals shed their horns in the fall and grow back in the spring. Lifespan. The life expectancy of a deer in natural conditions is on average 15 to 20 years. In zoos and reindeer farms, many deer can live up to 25 to 30 years. What do they look like? Deer have long legs, which are perfectly adapted for running and overcoming obstacles, an elongated body, an elongated neck and a relatively small head. The color of the body varies from light brown to dark brown, but most have a so-called mirror, a white spot at the base of the short tail. It performs a signal function. In case of danger, the animal runs away and raises its tail, thereby warning the rest of the individuals. Spotted coloration is typical for young deer. What do they eat? The diet of these animals includes plant foods, grass, tree bark, fruits, moss. Only reindeer can indulge in protein food in the form of bones, bird eggs and even their own horns, since they feed almost exclusively on moss, reindeer moss, and are deprived of other sources of protein. How are born? Newborn calves weigh about 6 kilograms. Despite this, almost immediately after birth, they can stand on their feet, and an hour later they can walk. A day after birth, the cub is able to overcome several kilometers. He stays close to his mother until puberty, up to about 2 years. The mating period falls on autumn. The female bears a cub for 8 to 9 months. Fawns are fed with milk. They are born fully formed, and after a few hours they quickly frolic near their mother. Small deer switch to vegetable food by the end of the first month of life, while even up to a year they can feast on mother's milk. How they live. Basically, herds of deer are small and consist of a female and 4 to 5 cubs of different ages. During the rut, males become very aggressive, attracting females with a trumpet sound that spreads throughout the forest. Fights for females, contrary to popular belief, are rare and almost bloodless. The main weapon in the fight for the female is the voice and spreading horns. Weaker individuals usually leave the battlefield before active action. But if it comes to contact fighting, then the males collide with their horns and try to knock down the enemy. In such cases, quite serious injuries are possible. The horns can break. Where live? Deer are found almost throughout the northern hemisphere, but their habitats are most often associated with forests. Only reindeer live in the treeless expanses of the tundra and are forced to roam south during severe winters and return to the shores of the Arctic Ocean in summer. Who are they afraid of? Natural enemies for deer are wolves that attack small herds in packs and try to separate weak and young individuals from the main group. Wolves also act as natural limiters to deer numbers. Lifestyle. Deer are nomadic animals living in small herds of 10 to 30 individuals. In summer, they prefer to settle in the forests, where an abundance of various trees and herbs serve them as an excellent menu. In winter, they try to wander into impenetrable thickets, since it is there that there are the least snowdrifts and, as a result, there is a greater abundance of food under a relatively small snow cover. Deer and man. Deer are game animals. Hunting for them is allowed in early summer and autumn. The traditional tribes that inhabit the tundra breed reindeer and use them as mounts and for all their meat needs. The skins are used to make clothes and cover the dwellings with them. The way of life of these northern inhabitants is completely connected with herds of deer. They roam from place to place in search of suitable pastures. Interesting facts about deer. There are more than 50 different types of deer in the world. To be more precise, 51 species. The smallest deer are the so-called water deer. They weigh only 10 to 15 kilograms. And the largest are red deer. Their weight can exceed 3 centners. Deer shed their antlers every year, after which they grow new ones. An exception to this rule are the aforementioned water deer, which have no horns at all. Young deer antlers are covered with skin and hair, but as the antlers grow, the skin on them dries up and peels off. That is why deer with growing antlers so often itch with them on trees. The span of the horns of a giant deer, which became extinct about 7.5 thousand years ago, reached 3.6 meters. Reindeer are the only ones in which not only males, but also females have antlers. Deer live in a variety of places, even in Africa. Although, of course, they are most often found in the tundra and taiga. Deer are quite successfully tamed. During the breeding season, male deer become very dangerous to everyone who is nearby, and easily show aggression. Fawns can stand on their feet immediately after birth. Types of deer. Noble deer. The most beautiful representative of the deer family, has a slender body, proportional addition. Under the tail of a red deer there is a characteristic white spot. The antlers of this species of deer are characterized by their characteristic branching. Reindeer. Also known as caribou. This deer, which lives in the northern regions, in the tundra, is distinguished by the fact that both males and females have antlers. And this is not just so. The fact is that the antlers of the female reindeer are needed for a practical purpose. With their help they, along with the males, clear the snow in order to get to the food, moss, and lichens under it. Water deer. Also known as the only hornless deer. This is one of the smallest representatives of the deer family. Its length is only 75 to 100 centimeters, and its weight is 9 to 15 kilogram. The water deer lives in the forest thickets of China and the Korean peninsula. It is an excellent swimmer, can swim several kilometers, migrating between the deltas of different rivers. White-faced deer. This type of deer got its name due to its distinctive white color of the neck and front of the head. The antlers of this deer are also white. The length of the white-faced deer is 230 centimeters and weighs 200 kilogram. These deer live in the mountainous forests of Tibet and some Chinese provinces. Pig deer. This deer got such a peculiar name for the unique manner of movement, somewhat reminiscent of how a pig moves. The pig deer is the owner of a fluffy tail. Males are darker in color than females. Lives in Pakistan, India, Thailand and other countries of Southeast Asia. If you want to learn more about deer, be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel. We'll be releasing videos all about these fascinating creatures in the near future. In the meantime, if you have any questions or comments, please feel free